Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm not doing anything. I'm out here in the factory, and I just want to show you stuff so you can see what I'm doing during the day to keep myself occupied. Okay, let me flip the camera around here and do a show and tell. I come out in the morning, and I've got a Chase lounge here that reclines way back, and an incense burner over there. I'm burning some frankincense incense. And I got all kinds of nice, juicy, dry transfer station wood. So I build up a good fire in my stove and turn the lights off and fire up the incense, climb into the Chase Lounge, and lean all the way back and just kind of take a nap. That's part of my day. Okay, let's go from there and I'll show you some of my dump finds. I had a stick of wood out here that wasn't cut off even on the top, and every day I come out and set my beer cans on it while I was emptying them out and they'd fall off and everything. So I found these two blocks of wood at the dump and they're beauties. So I replaced my old block with these. Gives me a good flat place to set down a dozen cans of beer and empty them out without them tipping over. Now this is a day dawn dusk timer. That if you follow the cord all the way up, goes up to a transformer and then a watertight connector, and it goes up, and it's made for lighting up a pool in a garden. Can't see the light inside, but there's a waterproof light in there. And at night, I turn this on, and this lights up the jack-o'-lantern that we carved out. It's a white pumpkin. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like at night. Now I've got all the wood, well, the three of us got all the wood in the woodshed, so we're all set for at least 2 winters. And I had a couple of cord that wouldn't really fit in the woodshed and still have room for my generator and other things, so I don't know if there's enough light in here or not. Probably not. But in the back end of here, I've got another couple of cord piled up. There's some in that trailer. I got my kayaks on top of it. And that's just backup wood back there. 2 cord. So, let's go out in the shop and I'll show you what I found to dump. Hey Zeke, you my kitty? Now, I picked up an electric scooter at the dump. And usually usually the big thing wrong with them is either the electronics are cooked in them and the batteries are dead, or just the batteries are dead. So I got this one home, and when I had it to dump, I flipped the on switch and the light came on the on switch, which told me the batteries had some life left in them. So I brought these home. There's 2 of these batteries. And you can see I've got it hooked up to a fairly big multi-LED light up there to light this corner over here where I'm charging batteries and stuff. And I checked it, it was at 13 volts, and there was 2 of them. So those batteries are basically still really good. I won't say they're new, but they're certainly in good shape. You can see they run that LED light just fine. So, what I did with the other one, this is one of my garages, and it doesn't have any electricity going into it. You see, if you come in here, it's pretty dark, especially at night, and this is in the middle of the day. So, what I did was, I wired it up with LED lights, just cheap ones I got off of the internet. And that extra battery I got, I don't know whether you can see it or not, I put that out here because I had one out here. It was a piece of junk, wouldn't stay charged. So this one here, I just installed this morning, and yeah, gives me good light. And I've got a really good solar panel that will, if the battery is good, will keep it charged. So that's the deal on that. Now, the other day I picked this up on the dump just for this regulator. I know somebody who needed one. You can see they're not mounted real secure, and they threw it in the back of the pickup and broke the regulator off. So I picked this up just for the regulator. I had gauges. The gauges were messed up, but I had a set of gauges from yet another compressor that I had picked up. So I changed out the gauges and I changed out the quick connector. Got ready to take it off and thought, wait a minute, why don't I just plug this thing in just for the heck of it and see what's wrong with it? So I plugged it in and it pumped right up to 150 pounds and shut right off. So I guess I'm not going to be taking the regulator off of that. In fact, this is the best compressor I've ever had. It works great. 150 pounds, shuts off, goes down to like 120 and comes back on again. Works great, runs smooth, quiet, good compressor. So I guess I'll just hang on to this one and not junk it out. You can see I've got quite a few compressors I've got from the dump and they all work. So that's where we are on that one. And finally, I'm in the process of building another trike here. Now, I'm doing this as I pick up the parts from the dump. What I need now is, I have this hub, and I'm not sure whether this 3/8 axle, which I got off of a trick bike, I'm not sure whether it's strong enough to work or not. So this is going to be a test of this axle. Once I get it all together, I'll take it out, ride it, and see whether it's stiff enough. But I put these axles in the vise and tried to bend them, and I couldn't. So I'm going to assume that they're as strong as a wheel. They're tempered axles. If they were just soft axles, they wouldn't work. But these are tempered, and they may work. If they do, that'll save me a lot of money. And you can also see here that this main beam, instead of having it come up on an angle like I normally do, and mounting it right to the side, two pieces, I made it one straight piece, which is a lot easier, and I cut the end on an angle. Drilled a hole here, and then went in 3/8 of an inch and drilled the top hole to put these pieces in on an angle. And that makes for a lot easier build. And yet again, I've got to take this out and ride it once I get all the stuff and see how that works out. What's holding me back now is I need two 20-inch aluminum rims to spoke into these hubs. And I don't have any. Unbelievable, I've used them all. I don't have any aluminum rims left at all, not 20-inch. So that's what I'm waiting for. But if this works, that's going to save me some money, because those hubs off the internet, time you get them, are like 40 bucks a piece. I got this shelf. I don't know whether I ever showed you this or not. I got this shelf off the dump the other day, and the girls cleaned it all up and painted it, and we mounted it. And I've got it's good. It keeps me gives me plenty of room to pile stuff, and it's just a good handy bench. I didn't have that before. And my dump clock, what I did with that was it needed to be the batteries replaced, and I just had it hanging on the wall. And it's so big and cumbersome and heavy, I can't really get it down and change the batteries and put it back up by myself. So what Sue and I did was we took it down and mounted it on a sheet of plywood with hinges. So now you can just unscrew one screw on the right and swing it around, and there's a hole in the back of the plywood so you can get in there and change the batteries and set the time, then just swing it back. So it's really easy to do, no problem. And I also have been working diligently to build inventory. These Sawyer Mini water filter adapters that you can back flush with are extremely popular, so I made those, and the large Sawyer water filter adapters that you also can back flush the larger Sawyer water filter with. I made a bunch of those, but I am really low on SS1 caps, and I don't have any SS2 bodies or SS1 bodies, so I got to get busy and start building those. In fact, the only SS1 body I have is this one, and this is mine. This is the one I do all my cooking on. So I got to get busy and build SS1, SS2s, because people are going to want them. It's coming up on Christmas time, and I'm sure everybody's going to want to buy somebody an SS2, the deluxe flagship stove, you know, with a case and a simmer ring and SS1 cap and everything. I've still got my chef stove. I'm surprised nobody's bought that from me yet, but I've still got it. And that's the one I use every time I bake until somebody buys it. But I think that's pretty much everything for this video, and that's a lot of information. I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design. Try to have a really great day, and try to have some fun today. You deserve it. Bye-bye.